YouTube has become the #1 source for AI search citations. Now, let me go ahead and quote from Trisha Ostwal at Adweek, who says, "The social platform hierarchy in AI citations is changing. Once dominated by Reddit, citations in large language models are now pointing more often to YouTube. New data from 4 sources finds that YouTube has overtaken Reddit as the most frequently cited social platform in AI-generated responses. YouTube had previously fallen behind other user-generated sources because the difficulty large language models, or LLMs, have in pulling information from videos. But transcripts, explainers, and other information associated with videos on YouTube have allowed the video platform to flourish as a source that machines can easily read. Bluefish found that YouTube appeared as a cited source in 16% of LLM answers over the past 6 months, compared to 10% for Reddit, a reversal from earlier periods when Reddit was the dominant social source. Bluefish says that social media's share of AI citations nearly doubled between July and November, growing quickly enough to make up 7% of all citations across LLMs. Now, Benji, I know you just answered, but I know you've also experienced this before. In terms of LLMs citing answers from YouTube videos, we were talking about our course, which is Vlogging Academy, and you went on a Think Media podcast interview. And tell us about the story about what you experienced after that.
Yeah. Turn my mic on there. So I have this thing called Vlogging Academy where I teach the new vlog method. By the way, you want to start a vlog channel, link in the description. But I knew that information is going to get out. Number one, because I have a whole interview with Sean Cannell on his Think Media podcast where I talk about it for 2 hours. And after that, we've done many other, like sessions. So a lot of it's out there. But when I was working out with Sean in my garage, and, we just talk about this stuff. This, by the way, you want to talk about not burning out? Like, this is fun for us. So even when we're not working and we're working out in my garage, we're talking about this. I was like, just for shits and giggles, like, hey, let me see if, like, ChatGPT knows my new vlog method. And so I just asked, hey, tell me about Benji Travis' new vlog method because I want to start a vlog channel. First off, it references that interview with Sean Cannell on Think Media podcast, and it lays out a pretty darn good framework for the new vlog method, and it's sourcing YouTube, okay? Probably sourcing many different ones. That was just the main one. And it made sense. I was like, how many people, it's funny, like I'm like unselling it right now by saying this. How many people are okay with like 60, 70, 80% of the whole thing, or at least just giving you the right direction, and will skip the purchase? There's a lot of people doing it. This is not hypothetical. Lots of course people right now are not seeing as many course sales in their business because people are using ChatGPT. I've said this forever, even when it first was becoming known, even before it. YouTube is the second biggest search engine, but I think more people would prefer the YouTube version than the Google version. They'd rather watch somebody talk about it and listen to them versus read it on a blog. So fast forward to where you're saying it's more, what do you call it? It's more
often cited.
More often cited than Reddit. That's partly because there's just so much volume now. And now with YouTube Shorts, it's crazy. I think like short form in a way, shorter videos in a way have been kind of killed off by short form. And what it's resulted in is more volume. So more information, more education, more just like, data for these AI LLMs, right? AI chatbots or whatever, to be able to answer your question. So it was inevitable. It's happening. And here we are. All your information is getting into these LLMs.
I mean, you see this all over YouTube too, right? There's a Gemini button that lets you literally click on a video and have it be summarized by the AI bot in YouTube itself. So you have to imagine that some of these videos, people are either just clicking on that button, asking it to summarize it, and never watching the whole thing. Or maybe they're not even making to YouTube because they're getting their answers in the LLMs. Doc, do you have any opinions about the implications of that for YouTubers? Like, what does that mean from your perspective?
Okay, so here's the thing. Even it's going to be hard to explain this, but I'll do my best. Even though someone can go to Google and pull up a book on how to make yakisoba, they can go to Mitsuha or Don Quixote or whatever, buy all the ingredients and attempt to do it, they're gonna just flub it. It's not the same. Watching Benji actually do it live and seeing what to do when something happens out of order, the instructions never explain that. But the person that's doing it live, they can explain it when something happens out of order because he's chopping his, bougie carrots. I just got orange carrots, Benji. Why you calling me like that? But he's chopping his bougie carrots. He got his cabbages going. And then, like one of the youngins run in there and be like, Dad, I want to da-da-da-da-da. And he's talking whatever. And he's like, oh, smack, my carrots is getting kind of jacked up. Let me show you how you can fix it. The book can't do that. So although everything that's out there, and even stuff in the course, and of course people don't want to hear this, not a lot of course stuff is generated whole cloth. Benji's might be an exception because it came out of that melon of his. But most of the stuff that you see people teaching, it's not new. Like they're teaching something else. The accounting book that I had to pay $180 for said the exact same thing as about 17 other accounting books, but my teacher picked that one for some reason. She was getting a kickback. And so, Nucci's the most freshest out of school, so he kind of get it.
Bro, you don't even
so in
know.
a way, though, all of that stuff that we were learning in the accounting books also available on the internet, but we had to buy the freaking book. It was the way it is. So I believe that if you're a good person in creating content, or whether you're creating courses or whatever, you're not really selling the information. And that's been a misnomer for a hot minute. What you're selling is the implementation. What you're selling is the camaraderie. You're selling that insider info, the stuff that just doesn't come out in pencil and paper. And this is where your personality shines. This is where your ability to hold court shines. This is where you allow, the you to be you again. And I hate to keep beating that horse. I'm sorry, no horses were harmed in this rant. But you really have to think about it, the connectivity. The one thing that the AI can't be is human. They're not that good yet. And I think we're way farther off than people think.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I could probably go and take the little thing and say, oh, let me go ahead and, see what the bot says about Benji. I kind of rather talk to Benji. It's just different. And the bot don't come with pizza.
Yeah, the four things that you brought up there, right, are implementation. This is what you're selling. Implementation, camaraderie, insider info, and personality. Do you have anything to add to that,
Bingo.
Benji?
Pizza.
I think I want to take a different angle on
Sure,
this.
tell me.
But you better believe AI is coming for you.
Really?
In your audience.
So you disagree with Doc then?
Not necessarily. I agree that you have to do certain things because that is what's going to differentiate you from like the AI chat, right? Like a ChatGPT or a Gemini.
So what are those things that you have to do?
Well, let's talk about it. What I'm saying is I just want to acknowledge and make sure all creators are aware. When I did that search for my new vlog method, that was me at the time, right? That is somebody that is not going to YouTube and watching my interview with Sean. That's somebody not going to my Creator Secrets podcast and listening to me. And this is happening on all kinds of niches. We want to talk about why I'm doing a live stream, by the way, is because guess what? They're doing it with recipe videos. I agree that they want to see me and they want to interact with me, right? They might want to see a legit chef like my friend Matt Broussard and how he would do like a lasagna. But there's enough people that are like, you know what, ChatGPT, give me a recipe for lasagna, and they never watch a video. They might have a video playing on in the background that might be lasagna, but it's a different behavior. It's like a different use case. It's not like getting the tutorials that I started on. When I first started doing YouTube videos on YouTube, obviously, it was very much like Food Network style recipe videos. You were shooting and editing my first videos, and we were like geeking out about the graphics you're using and like PVC pipe skateboard things, moving the camera across my counter. Yeah, he made one with PVC pipe, and it was awesome. Those were like three, 4, 5, 7-minute videos. But as short form came on the scene, people were like, you know what, 60-second version, I'll take that versus a 5-minute version. And so that was a lot of competition. In the AI era, AI is like, I'll take that over both the long version, the short version, and the shorts version. It's happening. You have to be acknowledging of that, because if you're not, you're going to wonder why your views are going down. So what I say is, and I'm going to talk about this at my creator summit that's happening in a couple months. So if you're a creator and you're coming to this, you better go and listen not only to me, but more importantly, other creators that are crushing it. You have to do what AI can't do, which is cheesy, but is be you, be human, okay? And the only way to really prove that is to be human for a lot longer than AI can pump out something that's better, right? More produced, more splashy, more shiny, and all those kind of things. This is why I'm doing live streaming from just like an existence like strategy, because there's no way. Number one of the reasons I stopped, because I couldn't compete against these kids that didn't have kids, that didn't have a job, that didn't have a business, that wasn't coaching and creating courses, whatever. There's no way I couldn't compete against legit chefs and whatever. Now, ultimately, those are kind of excuses. I could, but again, I just wanted to go a different direction. My heart wasn't necessarily like in that anymore as well. And then in the AI age, it's even worse. It's even more competitive. So I'm like, I still love cooking, but I don't want to be doing like those highly produced things. I am not a real chef, but I want to share what I know. And I really don't want to do short form content, especially if I know that AI slop is out there like really competing. And like, how am I supposed to beat like an AI recipe tutorial? Literally, I'm just going to like cook what to do. Some of the most popular cooking channels right now are just cooking hash browns and sausage patties and pancakes, like really like turn and burn diner type of food every single day. The same thing. How is that winning? It's winning because it's just a real person doing something very mundane. It's funny. It's like the most regular things now are novel and interesting, because what's AI's done, what short form's done, what creators have done that are really good at creating content that gets your attention is they made it so splashy and so like what do you call it? What is like highly produced, that they think that's opposite. And I started this whole live stream obsession because I was like, vlogging is back, but it's different. It's like 2008 again. It's like more about me and just me like acting like a normal person. So what I'm trying to say is what Doc is saying is correct, but I think it's more extreme now. So ask, or to answer your questions, what do you have to do? Number one, you have to do what AI can't, which is longer content. And I think live streams is part of that. Two, you have to be yourself, your true self, okay? Not scripted. Because again, when you think about scripted, guess who writes the best scripts? AI, okay? So you have to be just like talk off the cuff. To do that, you have to be good at what you're doing. You have to be comfortable talking about what you, even if you don't know it. You know what's funny? Like there's certain people in the world that they don't know what they're talking about, but they sound like they know what they're talking about. And guess what? They have everyone's attention, okay? So you just have to be comfortable at talking and being yourself. And third, you have to do the thing that people ultimately want when they are done watching the AI slop or the brain rot or the things that it's just like jumbles your brain, which is, guess what? They just want to hang out with another person. This is why in-person events are having a resurgence right now. This is outside of COVID too. It's because they miss this connection. And live streams is really the only way to create that connection the way you would get in a real life scenario, like where you're actually hanging out with the person digitally on these platforms. So that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean,
I want to add one other thing to this. I think is super, super crucial. And I think two things, and I think about this because it was one thing I got from my mentor years ago, which really kind of sort of saved my bacon. I used to believe that my goal was to get everybody to, get my product or buy my product or use my product. And, he hit me with something that I've since heard a lot later, but the first person that ever told me was a guy named Bill Bartman. He says, if your audience is everybody or your customer base is everybody, your customer base is nobody. And so for the type of person who would go jack somebody's information like that from the bot to just get a superficial thing and try to run with half the story, yo, they're not my customer and I kind of don't want them to be anyway. And I know you can't control necessarily who your customers are. I probably don't want to run with somebody who wants to do everything sort of half baked. You know, I want to run with somebody who's really in this to win this. And my podcast partner and I were talking the other day, and I was like, you know what's crushing my business as a YouTube coach? And I don't want to make stupid people famous. So I only want to work with somebody who really has a good heart and wants to share good stories and wants to make other people better, and it isn't just doing it so that they can pad their pockets. I believe you can totally put money in your pocket, but by teaching a good story and by teaching people to be better humans and bringing camaraderie and making the world a better place, I think you won't be as profitable as the person that's sowing hate, fear, anger, uncertainty, and doubt. But I still believe that you can do positive impact and still make money. That's the whole basis of Ikigai, no matter how watered down the US version tries to be of it. And so this is why even something that we thought was going out the window for absolute sure, which was books, like books are over, the internet got it baked. Yo, in 2022, a $843 million industry now is worth 30 billion. Like, again, I bring it back to in the last 3 years, Barnes & Noble, who was just about to go out of business, is opening some 200 stores this year. People are going back to analog. People are going back to things that were old. Do you know cassettes are popular again? Like vinyl? I sold all my vinyl. Everybody's like, hey, you still got any vinyl? I want to buy some. I'm like, I just got rid of all of it. I had 4 rooms full of vinyl. I've been DJing for 40 years.
No,
I
never get rid of your vinyl.
Everybody wants to be in vinyl now, you know. So I do feel like there is a renaissance, and all of these things happen in waves. And I believe, as dope as AI is for the things that it can do, which is make better diagnosis for healthcare and, you know, make data management things better, the whole thing that we're doing with content and stuff, it will level out and it will remain as this. And Benji said it absolutely 100% correct. It is definitely coming for you. But here's how you make this work for you. The people at the top will get better because they'll spend the time, the energy, have the money and the resources in order to get the best out of it. The people at the bottom now have this sort of Wikipedia disambiguation of information. Anybody can get in. You can, you know, do your best work with it. You can make things happen. The people that's been riding in the middle as a C student, and when I mean top middle, I'm talking about A student, you know, E student, right? The C students who've been just getting by, I just need to get from class to class, I just need to get out of here, y'all gonna get smoked. So the people that are being without resources held back, they will pass you, and the people at the top, they will remain at the top. But everybody who's been trying to do it easily, you're gonna get smoked. So you gotta pick a lane, and I'm asking you to jump into the fast lane.
Yeah.
Whether it's staying analog or whether it's going fully all in, but you really have to pick one.
I think jumping from that C to the A is the big question, right? Which you both spoke to, I think. And the common theme, I was listing out the things that you said there, Doc. Selling implementation, camaraderie, insider info, personality. I was like, oh, those are all like 4 really good angles. And then when Benji went and said, be yourself, kind of back to what we were talking about Alyssa at the very beginning, right? I was like, oh, well, which one does that relate to? Selling implementation? Well, your implementation is different than everybody else's, right? Selling camaraderie? Well, you're the only one that can provide that type of connection with that other viewer. Selling insider info? Well, by definition, that's something that you only have access to. Selling your personality? Well, of course that's you. So you is kind of the thing that goes through all of those 4 that you were saying there, right? And so what AI can't do, what you said, Benji, is can't be you. It can't be yourself, right? And actually the other one, the technical one, I think is interesting here too, which is the longer content, the live streams. It is actually a limitation that will keep some creators who are going long and going live ahead of AI, at least for the short term here, right? And Doc, I don't know if you have thoughts about that either in terms of being ahead as far as live goes. Like how replicable do you think that is for an AI to do something live?
Bro, it's good. We got a long way out. Man, Austin, you have no idea, my friend, but you just set me up with a brand new thought process. We are in the battle of the vowels. AI versus Y, sometimes OU.
I love that. Nobody got the E, though.
Write that down, Nooch. You heard it. I did it. It's 5:06 Hawaiian time. Don't nobody steal it. That is mine. We're in the battle of the vowels. It's literally AI versus YOU. And it can't do live. It's so far away from being human. Like, Yo, the company is in Boston. I've gotten to see, we have a spot, the yellow dog. We have one in the office, right? And I've seen their robots up and up close. Man, they far off. They look cool. They can do some things. But when dude was trying to dance, I got 2 surgically replaced knees. I will smoke that robot dancing. Like, we still got a ways. So don't be scared, man. Like, just be a better human. That's my favorite thing in the world right now, is just do everything I can in my power to be a better human. And if I can remain that, I feel like I'm good to go until I disappear.
So one more example of somebody doing this with short form and is counteracting all the challenges of AI and just short form content is John Cortese in Seattle. So a friend of mine, a fellow creator, he's arguably one of the more famous people right now in Seattle in terms of like creating content for this city. Shout out to Seattle. But the reason I bring him up is Doc said, yeah, I agree with him that AI is coming for you, and also the competition is coming for you too, because the people that don't want to get left behind, they're working harder. The people that are smart are trying to get smarter, and they're just a lot more tools. Like Nuchly now is like a graphic designer. It's crazy, okay? But it doesn't have to be difficult. It can actually be easier if you do it the right way, the way that is going to create the same connection without all the effort. And the reason I bring up John Cortese is I was interviewing him for a new show I'm doing, right? It's the Creator Secrets interview show. And it started snowing in Seattle. And he's like, oh, hold up. I got to like create a TikTok right now. And Lou, within like 60 seconds, hey guys, everybody, like we're recording this interview. He's like, well, let me show you how I create a TikTok. And within like 15, 20 seconds, he had just created a TikTok, and that thing was just uploaded like an hour later. He would have uploaded it earlier if he wasn't getting interviewed by me, okay? He does 5 to 7 of those a day. They don't take a lot of editing. They're almost no editing. In some case, it's one shot. And what is he doing? He's literally just being himself. He's expressing his ideas, and he's doing it consistently. I used to think, and I've said this, 5 to 7 a day, that's kind of crazy. It's funny, I was one of those crazies doing one vlog a day, okay? But guess what? He made it easy for him. And what he's creating does have value. Part of that value is he's just human. Everyone else kind of like took the humanity out of their content. They overly produced it. It was about the editing. It was about all the graphics. What did you call it? The dipply-doo?
The dipsy doodle.
Dipsy-doo, right? It was all that kind of stuff. And that's what I recognized with vlogging like 3 or 4 years ago. I was like, dude, this is just webcam footage on a nicer camera. It's not a webcam, it's a DJI Osmo, but it's just like talking to the people. That's all you got to do. John Cortese can put on an event and sell out 600 tickets because he's just being himself every single day. He actually showed me how to make a TikTok in real time. It kind of blew my mind because I don't do short form content, right? But you know what's the same between his short form and my vlogging is? We're just as close to ourselves in person as possible. You know this with my
Authentic.
new vlog. Yeah. Like I'm like, you almost don't even need to edit my vlogs. Guess what? I've done a vlog where I didn't edit at all. You can even see me touching the button, right? The record button, which would have been taboo back in the day, but people that actually don't care. They actually kind of like, oh, like he's like real, right?
Yeah.
It's not like this fake whatever. So what I'm trying to tell anybody, and this includes beginners and kind of building on what Doc said. Yeah, the game is different now. And AI came after short form was like the nuclear bomb. It's kind of like a meteor shower now coming down, okay? But there is respite. There are ways to create content, and it doesn't have to take over your life. And just like Doc, I just watched him do like 30 days of content, right? It can actually be easier. But you have to be creating content that's fun for you. You have to be doing it in a way that's easy to stay consistent or easier to stay consistent. And you just have to act more natural, more human. That's what's the problem. Everyone's trying to compete against AI now, and everyone else, like I used to try to compete against those chefs. No, you do the complete opposite. If there was ever a time for the beginner to share their journey and that becomes something that gets 1 million views, it is right now, because people aren't doing that. They think they have to go the other way and try to compete against a computer. The computer's going to win. I've done some of these video generation tools. It's ridiculous. Just like I tell my kids, don't let your devices use you, right? You got to use the device, make it a tool. Don't let AI beat you. Use AI for your content. You got to be smart about it. And yeah, it's interesting. Again, we've never actually deep dive into this the way we are with Doc. And I'm going on a rant here because I think a lot of creators are going to feel like they're burnt out or feel like they want to quit because it's getting so hard. It's because you're doing it the old way. You got to do it the new way. And even like in real life streaming, live streaming doesn't have to be that. You don't have to have a backpack and carry around a camera and do all that. Nothing against that. It's still working and there's people doing it. I know like one of the biggest in real life streamers in Seattle that, like building an audience, but it's crazy. I'm doing a live stream in my kitchen in the comfort of my own home, and it's easy. That's what's crazy. It's easy. It's easier than any other live stream I've ever done. I almost joke with Nucleus, like he doesn't even need to be in my house anymore. He does it inside of his bedroom.